Hello everyone. This is going to be my first weekly review of the markets. So let's see over here. We start with the Dixie. So in the Dixie, what do we have? I'll just move all the drawings over here. Okay. So on the monthly time frame, we are going by the monthly first. There is this CB over here that we respected, okay, that we respected, and then we displace again over here with another CB. And if you look closely, there is said to be a good respect of the consequent encroachment, and we are still consolidating, and there was a upside auction to the monthly CB over here. Then we move down. Then we are trying to move down based upon the seasonal tendency, and there is said to be a busy over. So, what do I see in the dollar? Mostly, the dollar is, I'm willing to see the dollar to move down. The dollar should consolidate over here again and then move down to this BC again. Since we are in this range, the range, we are perfectly at the equilibrium, and we are mostly consolidating over here at the equilibrium. Okay, so it is consolidating over here. So I see nothing but consolidation on the Dixie markets and on the monthly. So we move on to the weekly. What do we see? We tap this over here, and then we pushed up again a tap, then we are pushing down. Now with this we can see there's another busy over here. Okay, there's a busy over here that is still unmitigated according to me, and there is an inversion over here. The inversion is perfectly held. The inversion is perfectly held. So with this inversion and everything, what we can say is that it is being held very good. And so what do I see? I see a wick forming over here, and a wick should form over here, mitigating this, and then moving upwards and to take the upward momentum. And where do I see the terminus over of this move? I see the terminus of the move over here, marking it as buy side liquidity. So this is the range. The range is over here. This is the sell side liquidity. Okay. This is the range, and it is in a range. When we are in the range, we can put in the fib 2, the 30, 70, and the 50. So we are in the 50% of the range. So I expect a touch of this CB and then moving it towards the upside. This is what I expect in Dixie. And with Forex, I don't see that much of movement since dollar is totally from January. It's been kind of lazy. Let's move on to the daily now. So on the daily, I see over here a market structure shift here is a volume imbalance. You can take this to the volume imbalance. It respected the volume imbalance. So the next draw to an inefficiency was over here, and it perfectly delivered to the consequent encroachment. On Monday, I need to see what's going to happen, and when would this be tapped. Okay, you want to know when would this be tapped. Okay, mostly mostly I would say on FOMC day or any form of liquidity injection. This would mostly get tapped on the FOMC day, and usually what happens is you would go down and then reach up to here. This is the first draw on liquidity, and this is the final terminus. Then I would see the drop. It would take some time. Okay, so this is one scenario, and I'm bearish or bullish on dollar until it reaches over here. I'm not bearish. And currently, if you say, I favor 70% to the bull side and 40% to the bear side. So it is on the probability it is bullish. And we do have a market structure shift over here. So I would suggest this week to be kind of volatile, and we need to see the FOMC day. So now we move on to ES, the indices. We move on to the monthly time frame. On the monthly time frame, what do we see over here? There is this CB. Okay, there is this, sorry, BC, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. So I need to see the monthly to close above the candle body to be bullish. Okay, this is a level that I am looking at. If this close above the monthly candle, then we are still bullish. If it closes below the monthly candle high of the, what you can say, close of the previous month, then it is said to be in a bearish price action. So the range, we can define it as over here. It is this and then this. This is the range that we are in. And if you think this is the range, I see this as a mitigation of, this is unloading of shorts. Totally, this becomes an order. This is an order block. So when an order block gets mitigated, it becomes a breaker. Then they unload the shorts, and it has a dump, and then aggressive move to the upside. So when this aggressive move to the upside comes, we have a breaker, and then a fair value gap. What we can say it as a, I will call it as first level first level support. It will be held. The bodies will be held over here. Okay, mostly the bodies will be held over here, but I need to see wicks. Here, this is second level of support, second level, and I would say it is only wicks if it's bullish. So this price action comes here monthly, in a monthly time frame. If you are said to be bearish, I said to have this scenario going on. why I'm seeing a range and then what is totally happening, because we are too much into the top, and I'm suggesting it would come to the equilibrium, touch the equilibrium, and then go up, seasonal tendency and everything. I'm expecting a downward movement, but not as of now. The price action needs to develop. So let's look at the weekly. The weekly, I don't see any inefficiencies to here. The last inefficiency that I see on the weekly is over here. This is an inefficiency. If you look at the range from here to here, what do I see is still it is in a premium. I don't think it is very good in my opinion. And for this bullish momentum, I think it is going to go somewhat higher, and then I expect the price to come down. Okay, is this a topping formation for me? No, this is not a topping formation for me. Usually, I would see to have like this, a three candle formation, either like this, or even like this. These are the topping formation, and it has not done yet. There is mostly a wickless candle over here. I still believe the prices are going to run up, and there will be a one more draw on liquidity. And then if we go on to the daily time frame, I see this. I see we shall remove all the drawings, and this is for daily. So we will map out this volume imbalance. So with this, the VI over here, we have taken support over here, but I still believe ES needs to go to this gap, unmitigated gap. Okay, this needs to go to the unmitigated gap. When it goes to the unmitigated gap, and I believe this would be on mostly the FOMC or something like that. And you can see my prediction on Dixie is that here it would come to the FOMC day. That would be a bearish form of mostly bearish form of structure. But after some time we are in a inverse. We are not respecting the inverse correlation with the Dixie. I still believe there is an upside for ES. So this needs to be mitigated, and then it will move up for the one final time before I expect the dump. This is the daily. And I move into 4 hour. We do have a market structure shift, and then the volume imbalance is over here, and we do have a 4 hour imbalance. This is set to be a CB, and we need to see how Monday price action reacts. Monday needs to go here, and then I believe it will come here. This should be the case of terminus. So the range is over here, and then over here. And if you look at micro ranges, I would say this is a micro range. I would call this as a micro range, and this needs to be mitigated. Okay, this range needs to be mitigated. This 50% level, okay, 5111. This is a mitigation point. So I believe it should come over here and mitigate it. Then we should have it'll be really a fast move. Okay. So if you take the range, yeah, it totally comes under the range. And then this needs to be mitigated. Okay. And then what we have to do is I would look for shorts this week. This week I will be looking, this is the 1 hour time frame. On the 1 hour time frame, I'll be looking for shorts, mostly on the ES. So my first target would be this. After this hit, I would not look into shorting it again unless this might get mitigated, or it would be left and it would go up and then get mitigated, but it surely needs to get mitigated in order to have a balanced pricing. So this is the scenario for what you can say ES. So now we move on to the monthly time frame, to the NQ. So this is kind of interesting. This is actually having a topping formation. This has a wick, and then we need to see the next month how it's actually forming. Then you need to go in this, and there's no resistance over here. The only resistance that I see, the only support that I see in form of BC is this over here. This is the first form of support, and this would be the second form of support. This body should respect mostly, and here I would expect wicks. You can see the gist of it, what I'm doing. Okay, so if it's bullish, it needs to maintain. And currently, if you look at the weekly, I see only this BC over here, this BC over here, and this would surely get mitigated because it's already mitigated, and I am seeing this bearish candle to get a run on it. I'm seeing 17,000 to get run mostly. And what I can say is on the daily time frame, there is this. If you see on the daily time frame, there is said to be displacement, and we had a market structure shift, but I need to see the fair value gap stay open. And mostly, where would I see the price to go to? First, over here. This is what I see over here. This, and it should take this liquidity over here, take this liquidity over here, and then this, and then weekly. Then we move on to this, what we can say, the bearish candle or the order block. This should be mostly the case for what we can say it as this thing, Nasdaq. So this is what I expect. I'm expecting bearish price action. I do not expect more out of it. And if you go to the 4 hour, it's the same. Everything, it has gaps and everything. If you put the adjacent on everything, you you can look, and I'll take it off. We have imbalance over here, and then yeah, it aligns correctly. This is the okay. So the weekly and the 4 hour, I would say there is a busy over here. Sorry, a CB over here. So I would wait for it until it comes, and there is also a form of CB which I would actually busy that I would actually look into it. And if you see over here on the daily time frame, there is said to be a fair value gap as well. So there is an inversion of this on what we can say it as the non-adjustment models. It is really bearish. If you remove all drawings and put on this, you can see it has mitigated this daily fair value gap. It is below the consequent encroachment. So Nasdaq is the weaker one. ES is suit to follow, and yeah, this is what I'm seeing. Overall, I'm overall thoughts. So overall thoughts. What do I see? One, I'm anticipating bullish dollar, and two, NQ is said to be weaker, and the leading indication of weakness. Three, what do I see? ES is still yet to show weakness. It all depends on after the FOMC. This is what I see in this market, and after it all pans out, we can see everything. But my draw is over here. But the draw that I have is this volume imbalance over here, and after it respects or disrespect this, we are going to go over here, mostly over here, and then here. That is what I see. So it's a consolidation, then we are having this. So if we look in terms of quarters, January and February, I would consider this as an accumulation move. Okay, now we are manipulating. Then there will be the distribution, and then again the consolidation or Santa's rally or anything that you can say. But I'm looking for divergences and everything. Mostly Nasdaq and everything should go up one more time. Then I would see it come back down. Then it should go back up. It's a buyer's market. It's a buyer's market. I don't expect it to go down to zero, but I am expecting this level to be mitigated and this liquidity or even half of it to be taken. So that is my analysis. I'll keep you posted on the midweek. Thank you. Have a great day.